Well, hello and a pleasant good morning, everyone, from Tony'sPicks.com, and welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, March the 9th. We've got a great sports betting day ahead here with action from the NBA, NHL, college basketball as well. There's some World Baseball Classic action coming up here in no time here, as a matter of fact. Well, I guess an hour later than it has been going off anyway, but we'll talk about the early game here and maybe mention the other games as well and recap the action there from yesterday. So thanks for joining me here on the show. Get ready to go here for our Monday previews. A real good card, right? A little short NBA card, short NHL card, and in college basketball, we've got some championship games, a couple more bids up for grabs here, including some of the ones we saw there on Sunday, but we're going to get a few more here on Monday with a couple of tournament champion games. What we'll do is we'll actually touch on one game from every tournament that's going on here on Monday. So thanks for joining me here on the show. I want to invite everyone to go over to our website, Tony'sPicks.com. This is where we have our premium picks, absolutely our best picks every day over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can use the promo code STEAM to save 20% off. Oh, I'm sorry, promo code Tony T saves you 15% off those premium pick packages here over at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's click on the handicapper leaderboards and see what's going on over at Tony's Picks here. See who did well on Sunday. It's Stephen Duncan, of course, on top of those handicapper leaderboards. Don't have to work if you're subscribing to Steve's Picks right now. I mean, it's just automatic like clockwork. You hope the hockey season doesn't end. Well, you can do it in the other sports too, believe me. But this has been a great run for Stephen Duncan. 4-1 on the day yesterday. There's Tony T with a good day as well. 3-1. Oh, hey, I'm on the handicapper leaderboards. Is this thing on? Is this thing broken? Come back with 4 winners today. Couldn't get it done in the late one, but we're back on the leaderboards and we're back on track here. I promise, over at Tony'sPicks.com. Tom Reghard, 6-5 there. Brian Bittler in the profit yesterday. Might have been tough sledding there. Light leaderboard there. Over the last 7 days, we've got Stephen Duncan there, of course, on top. Nearly 19 units. Nick Lagarettos up nearly 10 units here. Solo Malone looking good there with the straight from Vegas. 702 got the profit here. Stacks McKelvey up nearly 6.5 units there right now. Al Ninos coming in 7-2 over the last 7 days. Where was Al's winner yesterday? I guess he doesn't win every single day, just every day but one. That's about it. Al's been crushing here. 7-2, but says it all. Tom Reghard up there, over 3 units profit last week. Shane Mickle, nearly 3 units. Mills Young, over 2.5 units, coming off the UFC card here this weekend. Tony T up there as well, up 2.5 units. Brian Bittler, Kevin Thomas, and the VIP account all showing profit this week over at Tony's Picks. We get ready for another week. Last 30 days, Stephen Duncan up there, up over 22 1/3 units. Nick Lagarettos up 11 units. Al Ninos up nearly 10 units over the last 30 days. Mills Young up nearly 4 2/3 units over at Tony'sPicks.com. Stephen Duncan leads the way this year. He's up 57 1/3 units. Nick Lagarettos up nearly 33 units. Profit Alninos up over 14 3/4 units. Joey Tron, the VIP account. Brian Bittler in the green over at Tony'sPicks.com. You can click on the All Cappers tab, find the handicapper of your choice, click on their handicapper profile page, and this is how you get signed up. Check me out over there at Tony'sPicks.com with my premium picks. You see the sports I excel in here so far in 2026. Some of the biggest sports, including the NBA, tennis action, soccer, unprofitable as well, college baseball up there. And like I said, we did have some winners here, at least on the day. We had Francis Tiafoe over Kaboli there at Indian Wells. I had Hofstra -4.5 against William and Mary. I had the under with Dallas and Toronto. Today also had Western Carolina and Tennessee State game there to go under. And you see a winner there last night from the UFCs. I had Drew Dober over Michael Johnson, and Dober looked good in that win over Johnson. All right, click on the Premium Picks tab. You'll see all the packages from our cappers here every day, and leaderboards there as well. And you can see all the picks and best bets from the group and their top packages here for the action on Monday. And you can get those 3-game, 5-game, and 7-game packs at the discount when you use the promo code TonyT. There's Chris Adkins. He's got his NBA Slam Dunk best bet. Alessandro up there with his Monday tennis best bet as well. He's ready to go in the action from Indian Wells. And David Racy's got a Monday afternoon college basketball winner there. I know there is one game in the afternoon tomorrow out of the SWAC here. So one game to look at there. We've got a hockey game in the card here as well in the daytime tomorrow. We've got that European special, I think is what it is there with the Kings and Columbus, and we'll preview that. All right, I want to say hello to my friends here as well, the chat pros. What I do is I preview the games for tomorrow, and then I ask the chat pros to give me their best bets. And they're in here right now waiting. We're going to have a good crowd here tonight. I want to say hello and welcome to It's JNR. Nice to see you. It's JNR. SF Niners over here today. Power Critters here as well. Timmy Two Shoes, he's ready to go. And Tim M, ready to go, talking that World Baseball Classic with Team USA. About the World Baseball Classic, actually, it feels like baseball has it right. The World Baseball Classic is on fire here, especially with some of the other teams. I mean, man, they go into the only thing missing there with watching the Dominican Republic games is that the games are indoors a little bit. They have great atmosphere, but it should be nice to have it outdoors with that group. It does seem like an exciting game every time the Dominican Republic is out there. Could be a sleeper here. We've seen some results here today from the World Baseball Classic. We can kind of go over some of those games from Sunday here, as Team USA will play Mexico here on Monday. They're up to a 2-0 start. Paul Skeens will start the game against Japan, we've learned now, and clinching group play in the World Baseball Classic is Japan. And Shohei Ohtani homers in every single game, it seems like right now. So coming up here a short time from now will be a game tonight between Korea and Australia in this one. Korea enters the game in a must-win situation at 1-2, so they'll have their best lineup. They'll have the bullpen usage. They are favored here in the game, so Australia will counter with left-handed pitcher Lachlan Wells, who is a KBO pitcher for the most part. Korea's lineup is built to handle left-handed pitching, though, and has significant more top-end talent right now with Kim Do-young, the 2024 KBO MVP. Was awesome, of course, 38 home runs last year. So he can smash Korea's lineup, and depth and urgency creates a bit of a scenario where if they, can get the offense going, I think they can probably actually get the run line here against Australia. It's been a great story for so far for Australia, no doubt about it. With their wins, yeah, they are coming in here off of yesterday's game, the loss to Japan, but they were in that game, played a great game, and for a team that was basically nearly a 9-1 dog in that game, they lost just 4-3 yesterday. But I think here against Korea, it'll be a little bit different. I think, Japan's better than Korea, but I just expect Korea to come in here. Australia's been competitive, but they really don't have the power here. And I think this one probably sees some offense. So from both teams, tournament games, you got the elimination pressure here. So I think it produces a aggressive bullpen, probably with the pitch counts and everything here now that we're into the last round of group play games. So Australia's already shown that it can score against higher rated teams. Remember the 8-7 win they had over Korea a few years back when they played the last World Baseball Classic. But I'm going to go over here. But I think Korea -2.5. Let me make sure that line is correct. 2.5. Let's see, the 1.5 they have -170. 2.5 is -115. We'll take the 2.5 here with Korea, and I'm going to go over. It's up to 10 runs here right now, but I will take the over tonight here at the World Baseball Classic. All right, and Tim says, is Ohtani going to get out? We don't hope to see Ohtani, but let's see who else is here tonight. Cal Dog is ready to go with us here as well. Yesterday's games, though, at the World Baseball Classic, after that, Australia lost to Japan. Cuba beat Colombia 7-4. The Dominican Republic rocked the Netherlands 12-1 in a run rule game. It was Israel shutting out Nicaragua 5-0. Panama beat Canada, upset city. Watch out, Panama's look good here in Canada. That is a crucial loss there. Mexico 16-0. They run ruled Brazil. Alejandro Kirk with a home run there for Mexico. So more play today here in the World Baseball Classic. After today's Korea-Australia game tomorrow, we have morning action here, or noontime action out east with Dominican Republic and Israel, Colombia and Panama. Also Brazil and Great Britain. Then evening action here with Cuba and Puerto Rico, Venezuela and Nicaragua, and then Mexico and the U.S. caps it off. And Mexico looked good too, didn't they? So, all right, loving the World Baseball Classic. And like I said, I think the World Baseball Classic has it right here compared to some of the other, sports. I mean, we've tried different things here, but I don't mind playing this game in March. I mean, look, when the Major League season goes offline, if you know what I mean, after the season's over, they're playing winter ball down there in a lot of the great countries we're seeing here. So I think it's great. I think it's on point here. MLB has a winner. Okay. Cover some of the other action here and some of the other news, if you will, from Sunday's action. We did see some other conference tournament finals here. And it was Northern Iowa defeating Illinois Chicago 84-61 as the number 6 seed beat the number 5 seed for the tournament title. So Northern Iowa gets to go to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 10 years. North Dakota State over North Dakota 70-62. The Bison will get to the NCAA tournament for the first time in 7 years. And North Dakota State's won 17 of their last 19 games, and a different team every time winning this tournament. We had Northern Iowa in that game against Illinois Chicago. Yeah, we had the winner there in that one, make no mistake. Also, we had in the Southern Conference, it was East Tennessee State over Western Carolina, 69-67. Western Carolina led by 17 early in the second half, and Buccaneers will play Furman tonight. We'll preview that one final in the SoCon. Big South final. It was High Point over Winthrop here. Good job by High Point. They won it by 15. And the Panthers, new coach every year, doesn't matter. They make the NCAA tournament here once again. They won last year. Remember, they kind of gave Purdue a scare last year. High Point's won 14 in a row, and they're 30-4 overall. Atlantic Sun, it was Queens over Central Arkansas in overtime. Central Arkansas made a last-ditch effort. They were way down, came back, tied it up. We had the over here on the show last night and did go over. We needed the overtime. I think it finished it dropped so dramatically, actually, that total. When we were on the show last night, it was a little bit higher, and it ended up going over that number. So Queens over Central Arkansas there. The Royals are going to the NCAA tournament. They've only been in Division I for 4 years. Also here, we have Oregon State over San Francisco. Late action Beavers trailed 11-0 out of the gate, but they came all the way back to win 78-77. Oregon State will play Gonzaga here on Monday night. And we'll take a look at that conference action. I think we're looking at the other game, but we'll take a look at those. Also, Campbell over North Carolina. Wilmington 85-70. The number one Seahawks led 21-0, but ended up getting upset there. North Carolina Wilmington goes down at the Coastal Finals, and a bit of an upset. MAAC Merrimack over Marist. 58-57 in that one in a MAAC semifinal. Also, Siena beat Fairfield in the MAAC 76-61 as Siena is trying to go back for the first time in 16 years. Big Sky last night. It was Portland State over Idaho State. 85-78. It was tied at 36 at halftime. Portland State advances to the semifinals. We'll preview one of the games from the Big Sky over the Patriot. It was Boston U over Navy, 53-52 with an incredible finish there. BU hits the buzzer beater to knock out red hot Navy. Navy done. They were one of the hotter teams in the country, win-loss wise, but BU threw that one in from long range and got the win there over Navy in a big one there. Wow, that was quite a finish, no doubt about it. Other action, non-tournament, Nebraska over Iowa in overtime, 84-75. Also Michigan over Michigan State, 90-80. Illinois beat Maryland 78-72. We did have some other winners. I had some other winners here on the show yesterday on Night Moves, and you guys brought me home with some winners as well. So I'll return the favor here tonight. NBA action here on Sunday. We did have some winners here on Night Moves, including the Celtics and the Cavaliers game under. We brought you home a winner there. We also had the Lakers yesterday here on the show. Also, I had the over with Detroit and Miami. Did I lose any game here on Night Moves last night? We also had the Toronto Raptors minus the points against Dallas. Brought home the winner, Magic and Bucks game to go under. Didn't quite win them all, but we did have Phoenix there over Charlotte plus the points. Late night we had Portland, we had Sacramento. Yeah, I think we had a pretty good night here on Night Moves. How about 8-1? Is that right? 8-1 here on Night Moves. Oh man, we better get some viewers here. I'm starting to pick up the pace here a little bit after all the little bit of struggle bus there. Good night there for Night Moves for me. Thanks to you guys bringing it home with me there. And also NHL, we weren't done. Had the winner there, Miami, Minnesota and Colorado game to go under. We had the winner here on Night Moves. We also had the Buffalo Sabres over Tampa Bay. What a wild one that was. 8-7. It had everything you'd ever want. Crazy goals, fights, wild. 8-7 was the final score. We had Buffalo here. We also had the Detroit Red Wings on the road over New Jersey. Had the St. Louis Blues as well yesterday. So, yeah, pretty good performance on the ice for me. Let's hope I keep it up here on Night Moves. But let's keep it going over there on the premiums as well. Hey, Greg's here. It's good to have him here. Free indeed. Thank you. Timmy hit some plays as well. And I guess I'm a little bit recovered here from the I got to admit, when we got done with the golf tournament and all the sports, kind of a little intermission there before we get to the night action, maybe I had to pick up down that extra hour of sleep there after last night. So we're back to normal here, I hope, a little bit right now. I want to thank you all for coming in here, and I think we got enough here kind of to get the show going here, get our previews started for the action here on Monday. All right, and take a look at the action here in the NBA. Let's get rolling here. By the way, I mentioned the golf. Akshay Bhatia actually won the tournament there in a playoff. Kind of came back. Berger almost led wire to wire, but Bhatia, we're kind of waiting for Akshay to break through, and he comes up with a great win there yesterday. He had 4 birdies to start the round, then hit an eagle, and then won the extra hole playoff over Berger. Berger had a 4-stroke lead at the turn, but he was able to Bhatia was able to get the win there. Also, Phoenix 250 Ryan Blaney pulls off an upset. Strong run, finishing ahead of Christopher Bell, Kyle Larson. Tyler Reddick was finished 8th, snap his 3-race winning streak as Blaney weaved through the field there to catch the leaders with 10 laps left. Newgarden won the IndyCar race after points leader Alex Palou hit a wall. And then last night, the Australian Grand Prix, George Russell, the big favorite there, I think it was minus 325. Russell and Leclerc kind of passed each other 6 times in the first 9 laps. That hadn't happened ever at this race. Usually it's a kind of a start to finish race, but then Russell ran away from the field. Antonelli was 2nd, and Leclerc was 3rd, Hamilton 4th, Norris was 5th. Verstappen, he had plenty of comments about the setups here right now. He did come on to finish 6th after was about in 20th. So we'll see what happens with Max. All right, let's get ready to go here right now, and I want to take a look at the NBA action. I think we're going to look at 4 of the games here. We got a lot of college ball, so I'm still leaving off the Memphis Grizzlies here right now. I don't think they're going to be able to make the play-in tournament, but we'll keep them in mind. They're going to be playing Brooklyn, but we'll preview the other games. Let's go. All right, get ready with the chat pros. I want to get your picks in here as well for the action, but let's start here with some good action with the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Cleveland Cavaliers here. NBA action for a Monday, and we got, 2 teams that are currently, in their own, controlling their own destiny here a little bit as far as the playoffs are concerned. Cleveland is a little bit more accomplished in the standings here currently. Take a look at the Eastern Conference here coming into the action. The Cavaliers currently sitting 4th, a game and a half behind the Knicks, but ahead of 5th place Raptors here by 2.5 games. So it looks like the Cavs can, at least guarantee themselves one series here at home. They'll probably hang on here right now. They are a big favorite because of the injury factors, of course, in this game with, Joel Embiid. We just don't have any resolution here with Embiid. So this one's already up to 11.5 or 12 right now. Embiid out, but not only that, Tyrese Maxey is out. That's probably even more important because if you don't have Embiid, that makes a little bit of a problem here for Cleveland, and Maxey's already ruled out. Total here in this one is about, let's call it 227 right now. Maybe it's gone up here a little bit in this one. But, Philadelphia, look, they got blown out last game. All of a sudden, they've lost 3 out of their last 4 here. They didn't have Embiid. They lost to Atlanta by 9 points. They were getting 6.5, but it was no good. So, yeah, the Sixers are 19-10 against the spread. On the road this season, Cleveland not very good in this role. 13-20 against the spread at home. 18-32 against the spread as a favorite. But they do have a distinct advantage here with the injury bug there for Philadelphia today. Not only that, Edgecombe is also questionable. He's battling a back issue. So just issues here for Philadelphia. For Cleveland, Jared Allen is questionable coming into this one. Proctor's questionable as well. So a little bit of injury woes, but Cleveland comes in off of a loss to Boston. They didn't really look that good at home in that game. 109-98 yesterday. I was on Cleveland. I thought that would be a spot that maybe they could take advantage of Boston, just maybe a little bit of respite as Boston has been so strong and Cleveland, has some goals here. Boston does too, but Boston looked good once again. Yesterday we saw with Boston, you saw the game yesterday. It was a nationally televised game there on ABC, and you had Shaq yesterday talking up the Boston's player Baylor Shireman, and he was really giving him the business a little bit. Said, I would never let a player named Baylor Shireman score on me. But Baylor Shireman was scoring from everywhere, it looked like. He made those 4 3-pointers. He was just chucking them up there and looked great. He had 10 rebounds, 16 points. He was the star of the game. Yes, Jason Tatum was 20 points and Brown had 23. Tatum got the post-game interview, but Shireman got the zingers from Shaq there, and Shireman was great. And it's I think this is one of the problems maybe with the Cavaliers too. I mean, they just don't seem like they have a sense of urgency when playing good teams. So, and again, they've also been, like I said, a crummy cover this year. But against this Sixer team, I'm probably going to have to roll with them right now. I mean, they're probably going to be favored. They're already favored by 12 at a few spots here. So let's go to the chat pros. We can hear from you in this one. And roll off a few numbers here anyway with this game coming up. Philadelphia is just 1-6 straight up in their last 7 games against the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they have covered 8 of the last 12 meetings overall. Philadelphia is just 1-4 against the spread now in their last 5 coming in, actually. Cleveland's won 7 of their last 8 at home, 15 of their last 20 overall. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these two teams have gone over. We'll see. I mean, the Sixers are definitely missing their scoring prowess with Maxey in there, and Cleveland can get it down to remember the days when Cleveland was known as a strong defensive team with the Allen and Mobley in there when they were teaming up. Okay, let's see what you got here, though. Cleveland's gone under in 4 of the last 6. Philadelphia's gone over in 5 of their last 6 on the road, but probably just going to lay it here because it does feel like we just, like I said, Sixers looked lost a little bit in the last game without Embiid. Here we go with Timmy does like the Sixers, though, here. The 11's going to be good. Hey, I'll give you 12, Timmy. It's going up here for sure. Greg likes the over here in this one. I want to say hello and welcome to Fish Den here. And thank you to Fish Den. He's got a pick there in the Memphis game. So appreciate that, Fish Den, because we're leaving that game off the preview here. So appreciate it. And Cal Dog says, over if Maxey is – oh, no. Okay, I think he says if Maxey's out under. Maxey it's definitely an out here. It's not even a questionable. They've already ruled him out here. All right. And – let's see here. I think that's it for you guys in this one. I'm going to go ahead and take the Cavaliers. I think they roll here over Philadelphia. Look, I struck out with them yesterday. Yes, they're on the back-to-back. I'm going to try the Cavaliers here tonight on Night Moves. All right, next up, let's go to a key game out west with the Nuggets taking on the Thunder. And, if you had to narrow down which teams in the West, we'd have some other hot teams in there as well. Some teams, like the uh, you think about what could happen here with the I don't know, maybe the Lakers here. You also got the Spurs, of course. You got the Timberwolves. So look, you got two teams that definitely can rank up there among the teams that are could play for the Western Conference Finals. You got the Thunder here currently in first place. They're 2.5 against over the Spurs here right now, and for the Nuggets, they've fallen all the way to sixth place right now. It's getting a little bit dicey. You don't want to fall out at sixth place, but we said how tight it is really between the Timberwolves, the Rockets, the Lakers, and the Thunder. Only one game separate those four teams from third place to sixth place. The Suns are really the only team that has a chance to move into the top six here currently, and they are 2 games behind the Nuggets. So, look, the Nuggets are expected to lose this game, but the Thunder aren't exactly a great cover, and the Nuggets did just throw in a clunker last time out, so they might be refocused here a little bit. They played the Knicks the other night, and it was, remember, 142 to 103. So I would think that is a bit of a wake-up call for this Denver team coming into the game. Yeah, the Nuggets are a stiff 7.5 point underdog here right now, and the total about 230.5. Chet Holmgren, though, he is questionable in this game, reportedly with an illness. Caruso questionable. Carlson is out. Hartenstein is out. Guard Jalen Williams is still out. A.J. Mitchell, though, we're going to get him back in this lineup here, it looks like, on Monday after having that abdominal strain, I think it was. And for the Nuggets here, Jamal Murray is questionable. He turned his ankle in the last game, but we'll see if he gets in there. You definitely want him in this one, of course. Let's take a look here at some of the numbers and trends with these two familiar foes. These teams met just a couple of weeks ago, and it was 127 to 121. OKC got the win at home. They did not cover 6.5. Also, earlier in the month, in 1st of February, 121-111, Denver lost at home to OKC. OKC was a 7.5 point favorite on the road, got the money in that one. So, yeah, maybe OKC's been kind of holding over on these guys right now. But like I said, it feels like this is a little bit important for Denver to bounce back. Denver has lost 5 of the last 6 meetings to Oklahoma City, but they've covered 5 of the last 7. So they lose the game, they hang in there, they treat it pretty seriously, obviously, and of course they had the big playoff series last year, and Oklahoma City, remember, pounded them in that final game, 125 to 93 at home, but Denver had won the game before that to, force the series into another game. But for Oklahoma City here, they won 5 straight, but went 0-5 against the spread in those 5 games. So what are you going to do? I mean, they didn't cover against Golden State, laying 12. They didn't cover against the Knicks, laying 4.5. They didn't cover against the Bulls, laying 9.5. They didn't cover against the Mavericks, laying 16.5. And then the game before that was the game right against the Denver Nuggets. So, look, Nuggets should be able to hang in there. It is a reasonable number if you like these Thunder at home. Let me update it here to about 7.5. It feels like right now. I'm going to move it down to maybe 230.5 on this total. Denver is a pretty solid cover on the road, 21-13 against the spread and 15-7 against the spread as an underdog. OKC, meanwhile, 15-18 against the spread at home and 28-33 against the spread as a favorite here. So I think those numbers do favor the Nuggets. It's just a matter of, do they have the motivation to keep going here right now? Like I said, they don't want to fall 6th place. You've got to start to worry a little bit, even if, it's relatively close, like I said, between 3rd and 6th place. Denver's gone over in 12 of their last 17, including 5 straight on the road. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Oklahoma City's been going under here a little bit of late. They are under in 4 of their last 5, but Denver 24-10 to the over on the road. I got to go over with these two. Give me the over here at 230.5. There, I didn't move it lower to get a good number. It's pretty much have dropped just a tiny bit here. Let's go to the chat pros here on Night Moves and see what they have. In this one, it's Cal Dog liking the Thunder here. Jimmy has to play the Nuggets here, and he's got Lou Dort to foul out. Cal Dog Nuggets first half. Timmy Two Shoes says, what about Jokic for a triple-double in this one? And Fish Den says it's a stay-away game, but he's been strong with both teams this season. Yeah, I mean, Denver's been more of the money-making team, that's for sure. Oklahoma City's not necessarily, I'm sure Fish Den has been on them at the right time. They're not necessarily a great cover, but Greg says Nuggets cover and the under. Fish Den says OKC unders will cash, though. Oh, man, whoops, I just went with the over. I hope he didn't mean that. And let's see, Timmy says last game against the Thunder, Jokic had a triple-double. All right, so it's a good one. I mean, you got obviously the number 1 scoring team in the Denver Nuggets and the number 2 scoring in defense in the Oklahoma City Thunder, but they're top 4 in scoring as well. So I'm going to take the over. All right, next up here, we've got the Warriors taking on the Jazz. Like I said, I did skip the Grizzlies and the Nets. My apologies if you think that, you might have a winner in that one. And like I said, Memphis, they have a, real outside chance. I mean, they'd have to start winning them all here, and they really haven't shown that they're going to get going too much here. Let's go with the Warriors and the Jazz, though, in this one. Warriors here fighting for their, life here, it feels like right now for the Warriors. They're currently in 8th place, but they are 2 games clear of the Trailblazers. The top 10 teams in the West, it does seem somewhat official. Like I said, the Grizzlies are in 11th here right now, but I like to focus on those top teams and can they move up? And it doesn't feel like the Warriors are going to be able to move up here right now. They're trying to hold off the Clippers and the Trailblazers here currently, but again, if you end up in the play-in tournament, the higher you are, the better off you are anyway. Warriors come in here, though, a 7-point favorite against the Jazz. The Jazz maybe have been in the tankathon a little bit, but they've covered a few games here of late. Three covers in their last 4 games. So, I don't know, they've shown a little bit of life, and the Warriors have some real issues here still, it feels like, without Curry here right now, and no KP, of course. There's been more talk about KP and his illness. Moses Moody is out. Al Horford is out of this game. Melton is in. Seth Curry looks like he's going to be in here finally. So we get one Curry here anyway. Will Richard also questionable. For Utah, Markkanen, he is out right now. So Isaiah Collier, though, is probable here for Utah. So those are a lot of those are some names in there for the Warriors, a team that doesn't have already some of their star players here. So let's see. I've been quick to go against these teams that might be in the tankathon, but the Utah Jazz are showing life here right now with 3 covers in their last 4 games, covering against Denver, covering against Philly, covering against Washington. They did not cover on the road at Milwaukee, but they're back home here where we know they've been able to cover a few times anyway. And Golden State's not exactly a great cover here as a road favorite. So let's see what you have, though, in this one. And, can you consider here maybe the Jazz? The total's moved lower here. Let me see if this is right. In fact, I'm showing the Warriors are down to a 5-point favorite. Man, I was typing these games in back when I was watching those late games. Wow. They opened as much as 7.5 here. This total is also about 226.5. Wow, I kind of like the Jazz here. I might have to go with them on the show here. We're not getting the great points anymore. Golden State comes in here off of a loss at OKC. They did cover. They were getting 12. They lost by 7. They also beat Houston, remember, in a key victory here. So it hasn't been a great year for Golden State ATS-wise or straight up, obviously. But, they still look like they can get in here to the playoffs, of course. And Utah, they're going to be left out. Here we go with Cal Dog says, I'm seeing the Warriors -5.5 here right now. Jimmy Two Shoes says, what about George here in this one with over 23.5? Jimmy says he sees it down there at 5 points here right now. Wow. So maybe this is one where the Warriors will bounce up with some of these guys. But like I said, I feel like Utah's getting a little bit done here at home. Now, like I said, this total's moved a little bit lower, but man, these two teams have been solid overs this season. Golden State's 27-14 to the over as a favorite. Utah, meanwhile, 22-10 to the over at home. 32-24 to the over as a favorite. Maybe that's the way to go. I'm going to go ahead and take the Jazz here, plus 5 points against the Warriors. The Jazz here, not going anywhere, but maybe they could play a little bit of spoiler right now. And let's see if we got any more comments from the chat here. Fish Den says maybe he could take the Jazz even on the money line in this one. If you look at these two teams overall, when they've met, it's been all Golden State. They've won 10 of the last 11 meetings between the two. They've covered 10 of the last 14 meetings overall, but Golden State's lost 6 of 9. Utah's lost 8 of 9. I can't give you much promise other than the fact that they are staying within the number. Golden State's gone over in 7 of their last 10. 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Utah has gone under in 4 of their last 5. But again, they've been a constant over here. Both teams, consistent overs this season, a combined 73-53 to the over. Cal Dog likes the Warriors on the money line. Tim M might be on Utah here. I'm going to go ahead and take Utah on this one. And finally, for Monday night, the Knicks are still here in Southern California. They're taking on the LA Clippers. Saw the Knicks there yesterday go down to the Lakers. Hey, we were on the Lakers here, actually. Was it on Night Moves here? Or was I talking about? Yeah, we were on the Lakers here yesterday on Night Moves. The Knicks probably were. Felt like they were pretty popular at the window. But, it's funny. Like I always say with these two, I mean, you got let me get my sheet there. When these two teams, when the Lakers right now get a lot of, I don't know, not criticism necessarily, but, when LeBron and Luka are on the floor together, the numbers would indicate that they are, elite when they play together. And, it's kind of, we want to make fun of them a little bit and, question whether or not it's too much from two superstars on the court that maybe have had a little bit of chemistry issues, but maybe that's just a made-up storyline because when they're on the court together, they're actually very, very proficient. But here you're talking Clippers and you're talking Knicks, and the Knicks are on the back-to-back here right now. So they are favored, though. I mean, that's just to show you how good this Knicks team has been. Clippers, meanwhile, come in off of a win over Memphis on the road. They didn't get the money in that one, but that only snapped a long cover streak, actually, for the Clippers. They've been playing great. We talked about their push to the postseason here right now, and, that's where they stand. I mean, the Clippers are in the 9th position. You'd like to be able to get into the top, 6 if you can. But, hey, they're 8 games behind the Nuggets right now. So, really, it's just trying to get to the 8th position, maybe over the Warriors. The play-in there will involve those teams. So, see what you got, though, here in this one. The Clippers are an underdog here by 1.5. The Knicks have their own priorities here right now. staying ahead of the Cavaliers in third place seems like the logical concentration for them currently. They are coming in off that loss to the Lakers, but they did blow out Denver, as we mentioned before that. They played a tough schedule here of late. They also lost to OKC, beat Toronto on the road, beat the Spurs at home. So Knicks are 14 and 19 against the spread on the road. The Clippers are 20 and 12 against the spread as an underdog. So they're in the right role here right now. But I think matchup wise, I'm concerned for the Clippers in this game. It's only a matter of, are the Knicks, I feel like, are they, not tired. There's no travel involved really here other than a bus ride. But for the Clippers, John Collins is still out right now. That's really it. Everything else is pretty clear with these two franchises coming into this one. The two teams did play in their first meeting. It was at the Garden, 123 to 111. The Knicks got the win and cover in that one. Clippers 18 and 14 to the over as an underdog. Knicks have covered 5 of their last 6, won 14 of their last 20, although they're just 2 and 5 against the spread against the Clip joint in the last 7 meetings. Clippers have won 4 of 5, covered 5 of 6. 12 of the last 18 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Clippers have gone over in 4 of 5, but the Knicks have gone under in 4 of 5. I'm going to take the Knicks here on the road to get this one. After a loss last night, I'm going to take them to bounce back here and get this win over the Clippers on Monday. And let's see what you guys have in this one. Timmy said he took the Clippers. Power Critter has the under here in this one. Cal Dog likes the Clippers on the money line. And Fish Den says give him the under in the Clipper game here, but Tim is on the Knicks. All right, that's a look at the NBA here for Monday. All right, let's get going now and take a look at the action here for college basketball. And I got a long slate for you here. I think I'm going to look at 8 games here, including a couple of championship games. I've picked one game from each league to look at. Look, I only have 9 games, NBA and NHL combined. So let's go crazy with college basketball on Monday. We're going to decide 2 more teams for the tournament. We're going to send a few more teams into some advanced rounds. In fact, we'll decide 2 championship games, 3 championship semifinal sets here on Monday. So let's get into the college basketball here right now. And I'm going to start it off with an early game here, actually, to get us going. And this one is at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific here. I'm sorry, let me get this straight. 2 p.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Pacific at the SWAC tournament here in Atlanta with Alcorn State taking on Alabama State. Now, these two teams are, kind of drawing up the rear a little bit here. This is the first round of the SWAC tournament here with Alcorn and Alabama State. For Alabama State, they are favorite here by 6.5. The total is at 143 in this one. Both teams with pretty poor records coming in. You've got Alcorn here at 8-22 overall. Meanwhile, Alabama State, they come into this one with a record here of 10-21. So, yeah, we're kind of drawing up the rear here a little bit here in the first round games. This is kind of a full bracket, although 2 teams got buys into the second round. However, 6 teams got buys into the quarterfinals. So it pays to be in the top 6 here in this conference. So number 1 seed was Bethune-Cookman. Number 2 was Florida A&M. And then there's a step ladder between the bottom 4 teams to feed into those top 2 games. We already know 2 matchups in the quarterfinals. Texas Southern will play Alabama A&M in the 4-5 game, and Southern will play Pine Bluff in the 3-6 game. So this one here is 10 versus 11 right now, and it is at 2 p.m. Eastern and 1 p.m. Pacific. But hey, it's the first one on the board, so we're going to look at it. Alabama State actually has lost 2 in a row coming into the tournament. They lost to Southern and to Grambling. They haven't been a great cover overall this season, 13 and 17. In fact, Alcorn's been the better cover. Alcorn's 17 and 13 against the spread. They're also 13 and 9 against the spread as an underdog. These two teams met their only meeting back in January, and it was Alabama State that got the win, 81-66 in that one over Alcorn. Alcorn's failed to cover in 3 straight. They lost to Pine Bluff in the season finale. They did beat Mississippi Valley, but most everyone did this season. And also, Alcorn lost to Prairie View as a 4.5-point dog. But like I said, they're a little bit better team than Alabama State spread-wise here. And Alabama State has been a little bit dysfunctional late in the season here. They lost and failed the 2 straight, as I mentioned. They did beat Alabama A&M on the road, but lost to Florida A&M at home as on the road as a 1.5-point favorite, and they got beat by Cookman by 11 as a 5.5-point dog here recently. Alabama State is 3-7 to the under as a favorite. Alcorn's been going under here of late as well. They've gone under in 4 of their last 5. Alabama State's gone under in 6 of their last 9, and 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. I think I'm going to go under here in this one with Alcorn and Alabama State as my play here on Night Moves. Alabama State is 1-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 5. Alcorn has dropped 4 of 6, but they've covered 6 of the last 7 meetings against Alabama State here. So maybe Alcorn could be the one you want to go with. They're also 12-6 against the spread in their last 18 games overall. This one's being played in Atlanta. Let's go to the chat pros and see if you're interested in the SWAC opener here. You know, you think about what we've done, the work we've done here on Night Moves, right? We got 2 teams here with basically 18 wins between them, but it's unlike some of the other shows where, they don't even know who they're, picking here. We've been talking SWAC MEAC here all season long. All right, here we go. Timmy Two Shoes on Alcorn. Mr. Wesker says the dogs have been barking. Man, it does. I feel bad sometimes for these teams that, play so hard, get the number 1 seed, and get beat like Navy. It feels like Navy deserves to go to the tournament, but what a loss. If you haven't seen that shot yet, you got to check it out. All right, let's see here. Alcorn for Mr. Westcourse, or is he using the Acorn app on his phone to save his pennies? All right, Fish Den's trying to look at the Campbell game. We'll look at it with you, Fish Den. Just hold tight. I think it's next. Alcorn needs to channel some magic like Drake did, and they're upset. And Mr. Weskers is laughing at Navy, right? I mean, how can you have, remember when David Robinson was, and they'd be like, hey, you can't have tall players play for military teams. I think we've gone past that. Cal Dogs on Alcorn. Fish Den. Oh, he's talking, right? We're going to preview that one too. Hang tight, Fish Den. I think that's in our preview. All right. Hey, I'm going under in this one. All right. Next up here now, we're going to championship land. Let's go to the SoCon final in Asheville at the Cherokee Center here with Furman taking on East Tennessee State. Both championship games are being played at the same time here. This one's on ESPN. Furman and East Tennessee State, both teams coming off a couple of wins, obviously, here for Furman, they come in here with a record of 20-12. They're the number 6 seed right now, the Paladins. But East Tennessee State, the Bucks, number 1 seed, 22-10. Only 2 games separate these teams record-wise for the season. A little different in conference, but still, East Tennessee, the number 1 seed. Furman is 13-16 against the spread this season coming in, but man, they've been warm here down the stretch. Not only they've won their 2 tournament games, they did cover against Samford. They're actually the dog in the first round game, but they've had recent covers here against Citadel. They covered 15.5 in a win. They also beat Wofford on the road. ETSU, meanwhile, yes, they have a couple of wins coming in, but they did not cover in those games, and they lost their last 2 final games of the regular season to Wofford and Mercer. So they've actually failed to cover here in 4 straight, talking about the East Tennessee Bucks. So maybe because of that, maybe because of Furman's late push here, it's only 2.5. Is that right? I thought it would be a little bit higher here, actually, but showing 2.5 here and 139.5. A lot of books at the time of this show did not have this game even up here, posted yet. But I think for the most part, this is going to be the line that we're looking at here. I thought it would be 4 or 4.5, but maybe Furman here with this momentum, they're the team that's covering more spreads right now than East Tennessee State. But like I said, East Tennessee State did win the regular season title. Okay, let's see what you have here. East Tennessee State just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5. Furman's won 4 of 5. Furman's won 5 of their last 7 conference games coming in. East Tennessee's gone over in 9 of their last 12. 6 of the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams have gone over. Furman's gone over in 5 of 7 here. So East Tennessee State, they've been getting some overs here right now. Let's see what you have in the chat in this one. I might go to the total in this game. SoCon Championship here. All right, here Mr. Wester says East Tennessee lay the points here. Oh, he's afraid to lay the point. Maybe just to win the game. Maybe just money line there. Jimmy Two Shoes he wants to take Furman, but he said, am I going to take? I don't know. I think I'm just going to go with the over in this one. Cal Dog does like the over here. I think that might be it for you guys in the championship game here right now. All right, give me the over in this one in the SoCon championship game here on Night Moves. Got a few more here. No, I think that was it. Okay, now we got the other tournament title game here on Monday night. It's going to be Georgia Southern. Man, everyone's talking Georgia Southern basketball. Well, aren't they? I've been talking Georgia Southern basketball here. The thing is, this incredible run by Georgia Southern. We talked about the ladder type format, right, in the Sun Belt. Georgia Southern basically has won 5 days in a row, all as an underdog here right now. Are you going to get in Georgia Southern's way, or are you going to take the Troy Trojans, the number 1 seed? Georgia Southern seeded 10th. They won over Old Dominion, 88-84. They moved up the ladder. They played Arkansas State and won 80-77. They moved up the ladder. They beat South Alabama 94-85. They moved up the ladder. They beat Coastal 96-72. They moved up. They were getting 3, 1.5, 4.5, and 7 here. And then they took on Marshall. And what did they do against Marshall? They won 82-78 as a 3-point dog in that one. So Georgia Southern will play number 1 seed Troy here for the Sun Belt title. Now that seems uncanny. We almost said it like a joke in a way. It's so tough for these teams. You got to win all these games in a row. sometimes there's, you get on fumes a little bit. Oh, you want a back-to-back? How about 4 back-to-5 back-to-backs here for Georgia Southern? Can they do it again? They covered the spread in all 5 of those games. Now Troy, look, they got the bye here. They only won 1 game. They beat Southern Miss. They're pretty rested here. They beat Southern Miss by 8. They covered 6 yesterday, 78-70. So, and we're not going to fret on Troy here. I mean, they're still a favorite here by 5.5 right now. I want to hear from you, I want to go to the chat pros right away and see what you think in this game, because wow, can you believe this? For Troy here, they have won 4 of their last 5, but just 2-5 against the spread in their last 7 games, back to the regular season there. Georgia Southern also just 2-4, though, against the spread their last 6 games against the Troy Trojans. But Georgia Southern's gone over in 4 of their last 6. Troy's gone under in 9 of their last 11 games. Troy is 9-12 to the under as a favorite, but Georgia Southern's 11-6 to the over as an underdog. Let's see. Let's go to the chat. So curious to see what everyone will do with this scenario. Cal Dog's ready to do it. He's going to take Georgia Southern and the points. Mr. Wesker says, back to back to back to back to back to back. No problem. Did I say too many to back to backs? But he'll take Georgia money line. Georgia Southern will cover, says Fishden. He wants to take him on the money line. And let's see. Andre's here tonight. He says Southern and the points and take the over. And he says Georgia Southern. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, he was talking. Was that when Southern U? No, Southern U's not playing. Okay, I'm a little confused there with Andre's plays, but I think he's on Georgia Southern and under. I think he's confirming it officially here. Georgia Southern and the under here for Andre. All right. Well, man, you know what? It's been an incredible run for Georgia Southern here. I don't want to be that guy necessarily here right now, but I think it's too much of a bargain for me to pass up. I'm going to have to take Troy here. Maybe a little handicapping intuition isn't clicking here right now, but this will be the 6th straight day that the Georgia Southern Eagles are going to be playing here right now. They basically be back to back to back to back to back. Did I say it right? It's gotta blow up here. Okay, let's see here. Dimitri's here, and he says Troy for him, similar to Winthrop, similar to Winthrop, I think he's saying right there. Jimmy Two Shoes says, I'm like AI. I can read and I can rewrite it. All right, let's see here. Georgia Southern can't miss there for Mr. Weskers. See, Mr. Weskers, he is mad if I miss his comment. And, whenever I see Mr. Weskers put GS, I think Golden State. So I'm like, wow, Mr. Weskers talking Golden State in here, as usual. All right. Timmy Chushu says, you can bet him live. Timmy, if I didn't bet him now, we wouldn't have a show. I'm going to take Troy. And say, I think, okay, Mr. West, I put GSW when okay, I'm going to take Troy in this one. Great job, Georgia Southern. Really excited for you. And, hey, you know what? Go out there and prove me wrong and bring it home there, Georgia Southern. That final is in Pensacola, Florida. So, all right, Dimitri went 14-1 with us here last night. Wow, I thought I was hot. Okay, you guys mentioned it. Let's get to some of the others. We'll look at just one game from each league here right now. We'll start with Campbell going up against Monmouth. We're in the Coastal here. The other game is Towson and Hofstra. And Hofstra's favored by 4.5, 131 in that one. But we're looking here at Campbell taking on Monmouth here in the Coastal to get us going here with the Semifinals right now in the Colonial. Campbell's 15-17. Monmouth is 17-14. Here, look, this one, look, I says 1.5 and 152. The total here is 149.5. And it's not a typo. It's just been moving down here, period, all night here, it feels like right now. Feels like the move here is a little bit on Monmouth. I am showing a few twos out there, a little bit. Definitely open 1.5, but we're seeing some twos. Both teams come in here, obviously, on winning streaks to get to this point. Monmouth with 4 straight wins here right now, including tournament wins over Drexel and Northeastern. They've covered 4 in a row have the Hawks. For Campbell here, they've won 3 in a row here right now, including wins over A&T, Stony Brook, and Wilmington, and covered 4 straight games coming into this one for the Camels. Campbell's covered 4 of their last 5 games overall. So of the Hawks. Hawks are 4-1 straight up and against as well, and won 4 straight here. Campbell's gone under in 7 of their last 10 games overall, but Monmouth's gone over in 8 of their last 12 overall coming into this one. Campbell comes in here 17-13 against the spread. Monmouth 16-14 against the spread. So not much to the separation between these two teams. And even totals wise here, you got Campbell 17-13 to the over, Monmouth 9-7 to the over as a favorite. These two teams met twice this season, and it was actually the road team winning both. Campbell lost at home 88-77. The Hawks were a 4.5-point dog in that one. Back in December on New Year's Eve, it was 68-65. Campbell won at Monmouth as a 1.5-point dog. They also went split over under wise here, but I'm going under here. That's what I'm doing. I've got to go under here with Campbell and Monmouth. Let's see what you guys have here in this one. And we've got Andres on Monmouth. Cal Dog's taking. He's letting us know he's got Hofstra in that other game in the Coastal. Timmy says Campbell's kind of a machine right now with the way they've been playing in these last few games. Cal Dog says that Campbell's been balling. Major Andre line. Also with Hofstra in the other Colonial game. And Mr. Westcott says, yeah, you know what? He's kind of saying, the fact that Wilmington went down, maybe the Campbell's got some momentum. Dimitri's on Monmouth. Cal Dog likes Campbell here. I'm going to take the under in this one. All right, let's skip it out now and go to the Horizon semifinals right now with Detroit and Robert Morris. Here in this one, Robert Morris favored by 5 over the Titans. Here for Robert Morris, they come in with a 22-10 record. They're the number 2 seed. Detroit's the number 3 seed, even though they were just 16-14 this season overall here. But take a look at the Horizon format here, though, and Detroit opened the tournament with a win over Milwaukee. That put them through here to this semifinal game. Meanwhile, for Robert Morris here, they beat Youngstown 68-53 to set up this 2-3 game. The other game, by the way, is a 1-7 matchup, as Northern Kentucky was the highest seed to win out of the, we mentioned the unique format there with, out of the 5 first-round games, 3 teams were guaranteed automatic bids into the semifinals, and then 2 teams ended up playing there yesterday, and it was Northern Kentucky beating Green Bay by 20. So bye-bye, Coach Gottlieb. Detroit here with back-to-back the wins over Oakland and Milwaukee. Detroit's been covering some spreads here of late. but Robert Morris has been on fire covering the spread right now. Robert Morris comes in here with a hot streak, that's for sure, and not only winning, but covering the spread in pretty much all their games of late. Robert Morris is 11-5 against the spread as a favorite, but Detroit's 13-8 against the spread as an underdog here. Detroit's 19-9 against the spread this season. Robert Morris is 20-10 against the spread this season. So two solid teams spread-wise here coming in. Robert Morris has an 8-game winning streak right now. They've covered all those games. Detroit, they went 6-1 straight up and covered every game except for one that they lost. The team they played on that game that they lost, Robert Morris. It was at Robert Morris back on February 28th, and Robert Morris won 73-62 as an 8-point favorite. They got the money in that one, and they also met back in January. Pardon me, you guys. Met back in January, 85-77, as Robert Morris got the win at Detroit as a 3.5-point favorite. So Robert Morris has gotten the better of the Titans here this season. Both teams hot. Detroit playing their best here right now. And, hey, you know what? Healthy spread there at 5, especially with the way Detroit's playing. But I don't know. I mean, Robert Morris should be the much better team, it feels like, here right now. Give Detroit a lot of credit to what's going on, but they haven't been able to solve Robert Morris. Let's go to the chat pros here. It's going to be Andre likes Detroit, and he also likes the under. Mr. Wesker says Detroit here. I think he's on Detroit. He feels bad for Detroit. I think he feels bad. That's why he's taking. I think he might be taking Detroit. And Fish Den likes Detroit here, plus those points. Cal Dog likes Detroit or maybe the over. Hey, want to say hello to Jacob Zakai here. He's here today, and he likes the under in this one. I'm going to take another favorite here in the conference tournaments. It seems like a bad idea in conference tournament play, the way the Dogs been coming through, and they always come through. But I'm going to go with Robert Morris in this one. I think they are the better team, and Detroit, hey, maybe you can't beat someone 3 times in a year, but usually the chances are here Robert Morris is supposed to win. And that's it for that one. We're going to keep it going here in conference tournament play. Let's go to the Big Sky here in Boise with Weber State taking on Eastern Washington here in this one. All right, for the Wildcats, they come in here with a record of 16-15. The Eagles are just 13-18 here. This is a third-round game in the Big Sky. So the way things are working here in the Big Sky tournament, and we do have one other game in the Big Sky here tonight, and that matchup is Northern Colorado and Montana. That one kind of leads into this game, this round anyway. They had 2 first-round games yesterday, and Idaho beat Sacramento State 68-45, and Idaho State beat Northern Arizona 73-65. So this is actually a second round. I think a second round game here is what it is. I think I said third round. This is quarterfinals. That's what it is. Weber comes in as a number 6 seed here, and Eastern Washington is the number 3 seed. So maybe you could just cast those records aside because, like I said, Eastern Washington here did not have a good regular season at all, actually, if you look at their record. Eastern Washington finished 11-7 in conference play, good for third place, but they were just 2-11 in non-conference play. For Weber, meanwhile, they were 10-8 in conference play, finished a game back and went 16-15 straight up. So they went 6-7 overall. So yeah, you know what? You got a 3-point spread here in this one. Weber's played pretty well, actually. They did lose to Portland State in their last game of the season. 84-60 there, but they did have a 3-game winning streak before that, beating Montana State, Montana, and Idaho State. They played Eastern Washington back on February the 14th, and the Eagles won it 84-66 as a 3.5-point favorite. They also played back in January. Weber won at home 91-80 as a 3.5-point favorite. So the home team won and covered here last year when the two teams played their 2 games. They won on each other's home floor. Eastern Washington does come in 6-4 against the spread as a favorite, but they have been pretty hot here actually down the stretch, covering 9 of their last 10 games overall, winning 8 of their last 9. Weber, though, 5-2 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 games overall. Weber's dropped 9 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams. 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Weber is 6-9 to the under as a dog. Eastern Washington is 17-13 to the over. Overall, Eastern Washington's gone under in 4 of 6. Weber's gone over in 4 of 6. I'm going to go over in this one. 155 is a pretty big number. Obviously, we're expecting a higher scoring game here right now, and maybe this one has been drifting lower a little bit, but I'm going to go over in this one with Weber and Eastern Washington. Chat Pro is coming up here right now with their picks in this one, and it's going to be Andre likes Weber and the points. Mr. Weskers likes Eastern Washington here. Cal Dog also on Eastern Washington. Fish Den says he's lost too much money maybe with Eastern Washington. Jimmy might want to go with the over, but man, that 155 is a little intimidating. Look, in games like this, sometimes the move is usually right. I'm kind of bucking the move here, it feels like right now. This one was as high as 157 here, and now we're looking at some books down here to 154. Cal Dog says EWU in the first half, and Fish Den going to go with me here in this one. We're going to try to get this one to go over here. Look, like I said, maybe the season series is a little bit of over. The one that Weber won at home was 91-80, and I kind of like Weber in this game. So that was kind of the tiebreaker for me a little bit. There they played 170, and the other game was 150 at Eastern Washington. I'm not saying I split the difference in that one, but Eastern Washington, over as a favorite has been their MO. Jacob says Eastern Washington on the money line. Andre said it opened 150. Oh, he said, oh, wow, it opened 151. Oh, wow. I never had a chance at that. I would have been all over the over at 151. Oh, my gosh. I need to hang out with Andre and get these good lines. Because actually I saw 157.5 opener at DraftKings. How about that? Man, we could have hit a middle there. All right, Power Critter's a little behind us there. Oh, no, he's a little behind us there, but he's got Alabama State. Okay, let's go next to – we're going to go next to here the Southland Conference here with New Orleans taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi. So getting started here. We're in the quarterfinals anyway of the Southland Conference here. Like I said, we've been here, done that. When it comes to the Southland Conference, we've covered it extensively here. So those other shows are just trying to figure these teams out. We've talked about these teams plenty, especially the New Orleans Privateers with Andre plenty of times here. All right, and for New Orleans here, they
Major
come
lineman.
in to this one with. I might have messed up the order here. This one's at 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific. My apologies for that. Gosh, second day in a row. I try to get it in time order because it's cool. Corpus Christi 17 and 14 here coming in this one. New Orleans 14 and 17. New Orleans is the 5 seed. A&M Corpus Christi is the 4 seed. This one's in Lake Charles, Louisiana, at the Legacy Center. So for New Orleans here, pretty good spread team. 18 and 13 against the spread overall. 15 and 8 against the spread as an underdog. It's closely rated spread here at 1.5, maybe 2. Total 143 here in this one. For Corpus Christi here, they've won 3 straight games coming into this one. They beat Southeast Louisiana 73-68, beat Northwestern State 71-59, and beat East Texas A&M 84-71. They covered them all. Unfortunately for the Southland Conference, they've already kicked out 3 teams, including Texas A&M, Incarnate Word, Lamar, and Southeast Louisiana. I mean, you couldn't make a little fancy bracket for them? This one is a little bit of a step ladder. Stephen F. Austin and McNeese have already gained bids to the semifinals. The winner of this game will take on Stephen F. Austin, and then the winner of the late game here between Nichols and Rio Grande Valley will play McNeese. So we'll see if there's any upsets in the Southland. Remember, those 2 top teams are maybe a little bit of head and shoulders above the rest of the conference, but New Orleans playing hot as well. Beat Houston Christian last time out, 73-60. Now they did lose to Southeast Louisiana, and they lost to McNeese, but they did cover against them. They also won and covered against SFA. They won and covered against Lamar. Like I said, it just feels like the Privateers are a little bit better of a cover. Corpus Christi is 9 and 5 to the over as a favorite. New Orleans is 13 and 10 to the over. As a dog here, I might go to the total here in this one with New Orleans Corpus Christi, but let me hear from the chat pros in this one. Maybe you guys can swing me here. New Orleans has won 8 of their last 12 overall. They've covered 7 of their last 8 right now. They've also, though, lost 4 of the last 5 meetings to Texas A&M, Corpus Christi. The 2 teams played twice this year. New Orleans won at home, 84-78 as a 1.5-point dog. Corpus Christi won at home, 83-69, covering 10.5 at that time. So you can see the strides that New Orleans here has made. I can remember New Orleans, remember they had all that controversy last year. They had some gambling, some issues with the players. Great job here by New Orleans right now in the end of this season to get to this point. I don't want to take a look at this real quick. New Orleans, with wins down the stretch here, they were at one point 5 and 6 in conference play. Yeah, they lost those last 2, but they do own that win over Houston Christian here to get to this point. Let me hear from you in the chat. Pros in this one. I'll make my call with New Orleans and Corpus Christi here. Okay, here we go. And Mr. Wesker says he's going to ride with New Orleans in this one. I don't know. I thought maybe he was riding. He says D's New Orleans. I thought it was like Rick D's in the weekly top 40 there. Says New Orleans kind of a home game here for Cal Dog. Yep. Timmy says, he's talking. We're going to talk a little West Coast Conference here in a moment. I think that's the one we're previewing. Andre's on New Orleans here. And Fishden. Great to have you, Fishden. You're doing a great job there in the chat. Really appreciate it. He likes New Orleans money line here in this one. All right, you guys are kind of opinionated on the side. I'll go to the total again. I think I'm going to go over. 7 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. The first 2 meetings went over. Last year's 2 meetings went over as well. So I'm going to take the over 143 here in this one. Corpus Christi's gone over in 6 of their last 8 games as well. New Orleans has been a bit of an under. They're under in 5 of their last 7, but I'm going to go over here in this one. New Orleans for Timmy Two Shoes. Andre likes New Orleans here as well. Yeah, the thing with Hollowell, he really fought through the situation last year. I mean, remember, New Orleans was one of the worst teams in the country. They had all that controversy with those, players leaving the program there late with I think it was a gambling situation. They end up closing the season with 13 straight losses, and they didn't give up on Hollowell here, and he's paid them off. Hollowell has kind of paid them off, it feels like, with a good season here. Maybe they can do this here tonight. Jacob says New Orleans on the money line. I'm not necessarily on them just yet, but I do like what they've accomplished. I was hoping they'd be getting a few more points from the Islanders. All right, let's go to, I think we got one more here we're going to. Yeah, we're going to go to the West Coast Conference, but I'm going to go to Santa Clara and St. Mary's. I mean, look, Oregon State's playing Gonzaga. Really interesting game here. We're in the semifinals of the West Coast Conference tournament here. And but I think I want to look at this one. I mean, you look at the West Coast Conference, right? Where we are every year with these 2 teams, or these 3 teams, I should say, Gonzaga, St. Mary's, and Santa Clara. But we get Gonzaga in here all the time, and we get these guys in here all the time too. But they're taking each other on here in this one. Again, we're in a stepladder format, with Gonzaga getting a bye all the way into the semifinals, and St. Mary's getting a bye into the semifinals. Pacific lost to Santa Clara yesterday night, 76-68. So Santa Clara advances to get this matchup here. Meanwhile, Oregon State beat San Francisco in that thriller we mentioned, 78-77. St. Mary's comes in here. They're the ones on the winning streak here right now. St. Mary's consecutive wins over teams like Gonzaga, of course. Everybody remembers the game the other night. They won at home again to share the conference title. St. Mary's has won 8 straight coming in. They've covered 8 of their last 9. The only one they didn't cover was a win at Seattle. They were favored by 9.5. They won by 2. But they've won 8 straight, covered 8 of their last 9. Santa Clara has won 12 of their last 14, but gone just 2-5 against the spread. And get this, St. Mary's has won 9 of the last 10 meetings between these 2 teams, although the one win for Santa Clara was the meeting back in January. Santa Clara won at home 62-54 in that one. This is a total under series, 4 straight unders between these 2 teams. St. Mary's has gone under in 9 of their last 12, although Santa Clara has gone over in 5 of their last 7 overall coming in. St. Mary's is 17-9 against the spread as a favorite this year, 19-11 overall against the spread. Santa Clara is 20-10 to the over this season, but St. Mary's is 13-17 to the under this season. All right. See what you have here, but I think what I'm doing, I'll go to the chat pros and see what they have to say. And it's going to be Andre. He's got St. Mary's. So does Cal Dog. And Mr. Wesker says every time he's on Santa Clara, maybe they let him down a little bit. Andre's on the over here. And let's see. Oh, let's see here. Jacob, Jacob says he likes St. Mary's by double digits in this one. Wow. Cal Dogs on the over. Timmy says you better grab the under ASAP in this one because he thinks it's going down, down, down. It hasn't really moved too much yet on the total, but I will say this: St. Mary's is starting to pop up some fours here at my two favorite Las Vegas apps. That would be I've got several books that I play here in Vegas, but both the Stations and the South Point, two of the ones I play. I'm with Circa as well, but it's up to 4. It is up to 4, and I'm taking St. Mary's. And you know what? I'll lay 4 here. I think it's going to be 4 right now, and I like St. Mary's with you guys. They do kind of own the series here with these two teams. Like I said, 9 out of the last 10 meetings between the two teams. All right. I think that's it for the. Hey, hope you like that college basketball segment. Let's go to the hockey now. We've got a little card here to look at, and why not? Hey, we've got a day game tomorrow in hockey here with the Kings taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. This is part of the European primetime series here on Monday here with the Kings on the road taking on the Blue Jackets. And the Blue Jackets will be favored here about $1.25 or so. Total 6. Man, the Kings have had some issues here. We know how hot Columbus has been. The Kings are almost in desperation mode now all of a sudden here in the Pacific Division. They've fallen all the way to 6th place here currently. Meanwhile, for Columbus, things are looking fine for the Blue Jackets here. Yes, they're in 4th, but I think they're a little bit clear here right now. They got to keep winning, that's for sure, and they did lose last time out here too, Utah a couple of nights ago, 5-4 in overtime. But they did win before that 3 straight wins over the Rangers, Nashville, and Florida. So looks like a pretty good price for the Blue Jackets the way the Kings have been going. They did pick up a couple of wins this week. They beat the Islanders. They did lose to Montreal the other night at home, 4-3, but beat the Islanders at home. They've been on a long homestand there at the end of beginning of March here. For LA, they are 8-15 as an underdog this season. Meanwhile, the Blue Jackets, they're one of the best favorites in the league, bar none. 18-5 as a favorite this season. Kings are awesome on the road, 15-8, but Columbus 17-8 at home. So these two teams did meet in LA back in December. It was 3-1. The Blue Jackets won that game, and also, the Kings just 7-15 to the under as an underdog, although Columbus is 14-9 to the over as a favorite. However, the Kings are 13-7 to the under on the road. Let's see what you got here. But, man, I'm going to be hard-pressed to think that the Kings can win a road game right now against this Columbus team that's won 6 of their last 8 at home, 14 of their last 18 overall, and 6 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams. Los Angeles just 2-7 straight up in their last 9 games overall during this collapse. Kings have gone under in 5 straight on the road. 4 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone under. And the Kings have gone over in a few games here of late in their 2 overs in the last 2 games with a push in there as well. 2-0-1 to the over last 3. I got to go with the Columbus Blue Jackets here, guys. Look, I'm a Kings fan. I'm worried right now about this team. They just don't seem to have quite the moxie they're going to need this year. It's been a disappointing season. Andre's on the Blue Jackets here. Timmy's got Werenski to get a goal tonight. Fishden likes this one well over here. Is this going to be a 3-3 game in overtime and end up 4-3? Cal Dog likes the Blue Jackets. All right, I think that's going to do it for that one. I'll take the Blue Jackets here. Hey, next up we got the Flames taking on the Caps here in this one. Pretty big number here for the Caps, who've lost 3 in a row all of a sudden here right now. Losses to Montreal, Utah, and Boston. Solid teams, though, no doubt about it. They ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw. They're still 19-11 at home this season, 24-18 as a favorite. Calgary is a dreadful on the road. We know that. 9-18 overall. We're in puck line territory here, and you got Washington 19-23 as a puck line favorite. That's pretty good, actually. Calgary 25-23 as a puck line dog. Oh man, that is not great. Could the Capitals roll these guys here and get a puck line win at home over Calgary? These two teams met in January in Calgary. Washington won it 3-1. Calgary did win here last year 2-1 in a late February matchup, but still Washington has had the upper hand in this season series, winning 4 of the last 5 meetings. Calgary's dropped 4 of their last 5 overall, but man, the loser in this series never scores more than 2 goals over the last 3 years, basically. Calgary's gone under in 4 of their last 6, and they've also gone under in 5 straight on the road. Washington's gone under in 7 of their last 8 and gone under in 5 straight at home. Washington's 17-25 to the under as a favorite. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under here in Calgary. I got to go under here in this one at 6 goals. Give me the under here in this one. I kind of like Washington there on the puck line, but I've been getting beat on the puck lines here. I pressure myself to take the puck lines on the shows because, we don't need to go -1. We're trying to make some definitive calls here on night moves, and it's just the way it's gone. And I don't like to, lay $2 for that puck and puck and a half, but I'll take the under in this one. See what you guys say here with these two. Calgary snapped that losing streak last time out with a 5-4 win over over Carolina of all teams at home there. Washington, meanwhile, like I said, now 3-game losing streak. Here we go with Andre's on the Caps here. Fish Den might be on the under with me here. Timmy says it's under because it is the Capitals, right? And Cal Dog going to take Calgary here to get one on the road. And Fish Den says, you get those overtime games and you're good to go on the puck line, or vice versa. You're doomed on the puck line. I know we had Dallas yesterday on the puck line against Chicago. I mean, look, Dallas has been incredible. Chicago hasn't. But I was saying there, right? I was like, boy, you got to figure at the price. Maybe it was going to be Chicago to get it, but it was a bad call. Okay, I'll take the under here. But Cal Dog going Flames on the puck line. All right. Let's keep it going here right now, and hey, let's get it going in the Metro. We're riding on the Metro here with the Rangers taking on the Flyers. NHL action here for Monday night. Well, hey, it's the Rangers on the road. This is where we like them, right? Isn't this where we're supposed to take the Rangers? Well, it used to be. The Rangers have lost 6 straight games on the road all of a sudden. They've found their way at home, but still they've lost 15 of their last 19 overall. They have beaten the Flyers in 13 of the last 18 meetings. between the two teams. Rangers haven't been awful of late. They lost at New Jersey last time out. They do have wins here recently over Toronto and Pittsburgh, but they've also lost to Columbus, and these two teams met back on February 26th, and it was Philadelphia getting the win at the Garden, 3-2 in that one. They also met back in January, though. The Rangers won in Philly here 6-3. Also, the Rangers won back in December 5-4. So we're getting the fourth meeting of the season here between these two teams right now. The Rangers are still a dreadful underdog, no matter how you look at it. 12-24 as a dog, still 16-15 on the road. But again, that's a far cry from when they were, playing well on the road. And like I said, early season, I always like teams that win on the road, but they just never got it going at home. And the Rangers are, going to be on the outside looking in. However, Philadelphia, they are just outside the playoff bubble, I think, here currently. They've gone 13-6 as a favorite, 14-10 at home coming in. So it's a little pricey here with Philadelphia. Hasn't been great. The Rangers, like I said, though, they're starting to struggle on the road now. Philadelphia's won 4 of their last 5. Rangers have gone over in 12 of their last 18 games. They're 19-14 to the over on the road, 20-14 to the over as a dog. But Philadelphia's gone under in 8 of their last 9, and they're 7-12 to the under as a favorite coming in. They've gone under in 6 straight games at home. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over. What to do? Here in this one, can the Rangers finally, could they get one back here finally after losing 6 straight on the road right now? Gosh, I'm going to take the Rangers, you guys. I'll suffer. Give me some more punishment. I'm taking the Rangers here in this one, plus money against the Flyers. And here we go. It's going to be Flyers on the money line here for Andre. Timmy grabbed the Rangers because taking the Flyers just seems too easy. The Flyers sure do go overtime a lot, he says. Yeah, but look, they have, 11 overtime losses. Wow. Fish Dan, like the lean. He's got a lean here to the under. Trocheck for an anytime goal in there. Cow Dog on the Rangers. I'm taking the Rangers here. I like the Rangers quite a bit, actually. If they weren't on a 6-game losing streak, this is a spot where I would probably play them as a premium. Okay, here we go. Let's go to the Blackhawks. They're on a back-to-back here right now, taking on the Utah Mammoth. Mammoth here. The Mammoth here coming off 3 consecutive wins here on the road here. The 4th game of the road trip, they've won them all and played terrific. Beat Washington 3-2. Also beat Philadelphia 3-0, and then beat Columbus, of course, 5-4 in that overtime game. So looking pretty good here. Chicago, meanwhile, I said they looked good yesterday. They did lose the game to Dallas, but they did cover the puck line. They've lost 3 straight, covering 2 puck lines in the process against Dallas and Winnipeg. These two teams met in January, and it was 4-0. The Blackhawks got the win on the road in Utah. Utah is 26-15 as a favorite this season. Chicago 23-36 as an underdog here, but Utah just 16-15 on the road overall. Chicago's 26-33 to the under at home. I'm sorry, 13-19 to the under at home, 26-33 to the under as an underdog. Let's see what you got here with Utah, with the Utah taking on the Blackhawks here in this one on Monday night. Utah has lost 5 of their last 6 trips in here to Chicago. Some of those games were no, I think, let me see. Yeah, 2 of those games may have been as a member, known as the Arizona Coyotes. Chicago's dropped 8 of their last 10 at home and 6 of their last 7 overall. Utah's won 4 of 5, winning 6 of their last 8 games on the road. 6 of the last 9 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Chicago's gone under here in 5 of their last 7. I think both teams kind of more likely trend under here. And I might go to the total in this one. Let's see what you've got in the chat. Look, Utah, they've been okay. Looking at the puck line here, Utah, 16 and 25. I mean, that's acceptable here. Chicago, 39 and 20 as a puck line underdog. That's right on schedule. It feels like anyway. All right, I'm going to take the under here in this one. Man, I think Utah may be able to get this one. But give me the under here on night moves. Still want to take Utah probably, but these puck lines are tough. You guys are right. All right, let's see here. Andre loves a home dog like this, I think, with Chicago. They are on the back-to-back, but okay, let's see. Timmy says, take the Blackhawks. Utah's been on the road here for a while now. Yeah, the 4th straight game. They've won them all, though, these Utah Mammoth. All right, I want to say hello to Donnie Jassy. I hope I got that right. Donnie Jassy in the chat. He's betting some tennis at this hour. Cal Dog, Blackhawks on the puck line. I'll take the under. One more here on the ice for Monday night, and that's going to do it for night moves. We've got the Senators on the road taking on the Canucks. In this one, you got the Senators. Oh, boy, pretty big favorite here against lowly Vancouver. Ottawa's won 2 in a row here right now. Look, Ottawa's, I would say at this point, you got to think that Ottawa here in position right now to take advantage of this. They got to get wins like this if they're going to make it to the postseason. This one, I might have cut it off here if we weren't desperate for some hockey games, but you got the Senators here, 17 and 12 on the road. They've done a nice job. Vancouver, just 15 and 37 as an underdog, of course, 16 and 19 at home, 6 and 19 at home. I mean, not great. We know how bad the Canucks have been this season, but they did play well against Winnipeg the other night. They did lose the game 3-2 in overtime. They got off to a lead, but couldn't hang on. They also beat Chicago here recently. So they've actually played 2 straight decent games here right now, talking about Vancouver. But, still Ottawa's, going to be I'm probably going to lay this. Let's see here. Ottawa's won 8 of their last 11 overall. They are just 2 and 5 in their last 7 games against the Vancouver Canucks. They've won 4 of their last 5 on the road. Vancouver has dropped 8 of their last 9 games, and Vancouver's also lost 15 of their last 17 games at home. Vancouver and Ottawa have gone over in 8 of their last 10 games, 4 of the last 8 of their last 10 games against each other, and 4 of their last 5 games overall have gone over here when playing in Vancouver. So I'm going to go ahead and take Ottawa here to try to get this puck line. I got to take one puck line here with the favorite here, and I'll try to pick on Vancouver once again. Ottawa 15 and 29 is a puck line favorite. It could, do better than that. Vancouver 28 and 24 is a puck line dog. That is actually very terrible. All right, the two teams met back in January. It was 2-1. Ottawa got the win at home. They didn't, they were favored, of course, in that one. So could they really win by more than 2 goals on the road? I'm going to try it. Give me Ottawa here in this one. And we'll get the comments from the chat pros. We got Ottawa here on the puck line for Fish Den. And Timmy says he'll be on the Canucks here in this one because the Senators have been on a long road trip here. Yeah, it's their 5th straight road game right now. Andre going to take those home dog there as well. Yeah, Ottawa's not a world beater, no doubt about it. Cal Dogs on the over here. I just think, the one thing about Ottawa, though, like I said, they've had been okay on the road, 17-12 on the road for a subpar team. That's not too bad. All right, and I think Timmy's on DeBrusque to score. All right, gang, that's going to do it here for Night Moves. Thank you for a great show and a great time and spending nearly 2 hours with me talking sports and sports betting. We got another great crowd in here tonight. I wish I had more games to talk about. We got 6 of you here. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. That's where you'll find our premium picks every day over at Tony's Picks. Hey, I had a decent day here on Sunday. I went 4-2. I did have a rough weekend. Man, I was really college basketball is supposed to be my specialty here, but the postseason's kind of bit me here a little bit. But I did go 4-2 yesterday. Take a look at the handicapper leaderboards. Looks like it's kind of a tough day there on the handicapper leaderboard. So got Stephen Duncan though here, still rocking this thing and leading the way here. Stephen doing a great job for us over at Tony's Picks is back with us, and I'm glad about it. Tony T, 3-in-1 day. Tony's been clicking here a little bit as well. I'm up there. Tom Regard's done a nice job with us on the site. And you have legendary Brian Bittler there as well. So thanks a lot, everybody, for joining me here on the show. Make sure you head on over to Tony'sPicks.com. Use that promo code Tony T at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Monday. Check out the handicapper leaderboards to see who's hot, then click on their handicapper profile page and get signed up. You can check out all the top plays from the crew over on the premium picks tab. And that's going to do it. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. We'll be back again here on Tuesday with more conference tournament action, NBA, NHL. We'll even throw in some World Baseball Classic. Remember, coming up in just 1 hour from now, in case you didn't have me at the top of the show, I'm going to go ahead and lay the 2.5 runs with Korea here in their matchup with Australia. Australia's done a nice job there. We saw how close that game was, really, against Japan in the game there on Sunday, which is a 1-run game. But in this one, I'm going to take Korea minus 2.5. Australia's going with Lachlan Wells, who does have some KBO experience, but I think Korea's lineup is built to handle left-handed pitching, especially you got guys like Kim Do-young, who was the MVP in the KBO in 2024. He had 347 with 38 home runs last season. Korea's got a pretty deep lineup. I think they can handle it here. Japan got the win there against Australia. It wasn't easy, and Australia's been competitive. They had that incredible, 2-0 start to the tournament. But hey, if laying 2.5 isn't your thing, I'm going to go over as well. I think anytime you get these tournament games with elimination pressure and the pitch count of the first round, I'm going to end up going over here. These two teams played in the last WBC. Australia actually beat Korea 8-7 in the last World Baseball Classic, but Wells is kind of a command lefty, doesn't really overpower guys, so I think Korea jumps ahead here. And Australia, I think they'll get some on the back end. I like over 9.5, so I'm going to go with Korea minus 2.5 and the over tonight at the World Baseball Classic. All right, that's going to do it. Thank you for joining me here on Night Moves. Really appreciate everybody, especially those folks in the chat. I want to say hello to Mr. Esquire joining us in the chat tonight. Nice to have Mr. Esquire here as well. All right, that's going to do it here for the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. I'm Ramon Scott. So long from Las Vegas.